Good morning, 8th grade students. Happy snow day. Obviously, we can't continue with our clay animal creations today because they are at school and we are not. But we're going to take a little diversion, a little sidetrack into op art, also known as optical art. It's super cool to look at. Some people call it trippy because it can kind of trick your brain a little bit. But it's a style of visual art that makes optical illusions. Op art works are abstract, with many of the better known pieces made in black and white. So you see here the use of the different checkerboard, and the rectangles getting really narrow makes it look like you could dive back into there. Gives it that sense of depth. So it originated in the 1960s, and the United States was reeling from the assassination of our President John F. Kennedy, escalating civil rights movements. October of 1964, in an article describing this new style of art, Time magazine actually coined the phrase optical art, or op art, as it's more commonly known. Here's an example of op art. This is all flat, really, but it really gives the impression of space and depth just by the way they sized and shaped and colored the different pieces on here. Okay. Key characteristics: it exists to fool the eye, has the illusion of movement. Because of its geometrically based nature, op art is almost without exception non-representational. That means it doesn't represent any real objects. It's just what it is: colors, lines, shapes, patterns. Positive and negative spaces in a composition are of equal importance. The positive space is what you actually see, what's there, and the negative space is like the white spaces in between. And op art utilizes those very strongly. I'll show you a few examples here. This one's called Pulsar. If you really look at it, it kind of appears to be like pulsing on you. This one, Mesh Spirals. So it appears to scintillate. Scintillate's like kind of like sparkle. It appears to rotate when you approach or move back from the figure with fixating at the center. Whoa. Okay, this is tripping me out a little bit just looking at it, but they're kind of fun too. Fleming's rule: something appears to run in the circular clouds, visual phantoms. So if you just kind of like look in the middle, you kind of like see something zooming around the edges. Hope you guys are having fun with these. Falling snow: the figure appears to scintillate. So again, kind of like scintillate, pulsate, move. Autumn white patches appear to scintillate. So again, you kind of get this movement, this scintillation. This one's interesting. This one looks like it's rotating, but whichever one you're looking at stops moving. The other ones keep moving. A time tunnel. Colors kind of scintillate. Blue sun, circular scintillation appears. Wow, there's a lot of movement with this one if you look at it. Warp: stars appear to twinkle when we fixate on the center. Earthquake: the surround appears to fluctuate. You look at the middle, like the rest of it's just like moving. This one just kind of looks like they're all rotating until you look at them and then they stop. Like this is meant to look like the arrows are all kind of pushing out. Okay, so what are you gonna do with this today? You are gonna make something that looks kind of like this. So it's really cool. It looks like it has actual form, like your hand is really there, almost like your hand's underneath of a sheet or something, but you just create it on paper. And it's pretty simple actually. You're gonna trace your hand on a piece of white paper. Hopefully you have like a sheet of computer paper at home or something that doesn't have lines on it. Look for something like that. Then what you do, if you have a ruler, use that. If not, it's fine. Take a black marker, so you draw straight lines until you get to your hand, your wrist, right? And then you do a curve, like an arc over it. It's an arc over your wrist. And then when it gets to the fingers, you do an arc over each finger. So a bump, and then it's straight in between the finger, and then a bump. So you could do these lines that are straight all the way through first and then add the bumps in, but basically the lines in the background continue straight through. Sorry, it's Wednesday night right now and I'm recording this. I'm getting sleepy. Okay, and then you add color. So you add strips of color in between those straight lines, and you'll end up with something that looks very dimensional. It's pretty simple. Have fun with it. Use colors as much as you want. Whatever you have is fine. Whatever markers are good for this, but if you don't have them, use whatever you have. Okay, so there's the instructions there. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions, and hope you guys enjoy this assignment today. We'll see you on Friday.